Hello, hello, everyone. We are back again with another episode of Fresh Off the Set. I'm Laura Murray, and I am joined by the David Osmond.
I like it, the David Osmond.
Did you like how my voice went lower?
You went into that radio announcer voice like you were like the Monster Truck International. Sunday.
David, Osmond. But yes, David is here with me, and if you have listened to our podcast before, you know that all of the hosts, we host a TV show here in Salt Lake City, and we decided to add a podcast to it, another form of content.
There's just not enough time while we're sitting down on the set, on the couches and the sofas, to really dive deep and have longer conversations. And this is a nice way to do so. The show is called Fresh Living, so this is fresh off the set. And we really, literally are fresh off the set. Just finished today's show. And coming to sit down and have a conversation with you, Laura, is going to be awesome.
And I'm so excited, David. Today's show is all about you. All about you, the amazing things you've done. And David, I got to brag about you here for a second.
Yes, go for an hour.
Because, tell me more.
How long is this podcast? We go on the Joe Rogan 3-hour kind of thing?
All about David.
Okay.
I have people who will come up to me after the show and say, "Oh, David seems so nice on camera. Is he really that nice?"
No, they don't. You're making this up.
I am not making this up. And I actually say,
he's such a jerk. He's so,
that
you
is
know
not
why I
what
sit on
say.
the other side of the set, because I just can't stand that guy.
That's exactly
That's what you
I
say, right?
to them.
Okay.
No, I tell them, I'm like, you are absolutely right. Everything you see on TV from David is who he is. He is the most genuinely kind human who tries so hard to make everyone feel welcome, make everyone feel seen. He has the best energy. Our guests love you. We all love you.
You're so sweet, Alora.
So
Thank you.
I was like, I have to brag about David for a little bit, real quick here.
You're so nice.
Everything you see.
And truthfully, I have been asked the same question about you. And
No, you
no joke.
haven't.
No joke. And I said, guys, legitimate Disney princess. I know that's the cliche, and you probably hate that. I haven't asked you if that rubs you the wrong way.
I love it. It's fine.
Okay, I can tell. All right, such a Disney. But you are the real McCoy. The real deal.
Thank you, David.
Thank you for the compliment. I return that in favor.
You're so kind. So let's start talking about you, David. You have been away for a while performing. You're back with us at Fresh Living. Talk to us a little bit about what you've been doing.
Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, I have been gone for quite a while on tour, and I grew up performing my entire life. So I'm still, a singer, entertainer, and performer in many different regards. And sometimes there's certain seasons of the year that you're just busier than others, and Christmas is one of those. The holiday season, it gets crazy. It gets nuts. So this past year,
I liked the way you said that.
I think my dad gone crazy. And that's what my kids say about me every day. No, I left on tour with my Aunt Marie Osmond, and neither of us are old enough to remember the
I absolutely remember the Osmonds. I'm going to cut in here really fast. Honestly, David, my favorite work of your aunt and uncle is the commercial they did for Ozzy Osbourne at the Super Bowl for Pepsi Twist.
You are that old. What?
And
are you serious?
Yeah, Ozzy comes out in the
Pepsi
kitchen.
Twist.
Yeah, he comes out into the kitchen and he sees his kids and they twist and they turn into the Osmonds and sing.
Jack and Kelly, yep. And the kitchen that was in the Osbournes, the reality show was really popular. And that commercial was fantastic. It was those marketing ad wizards were perfect.
Oh, it was amazing. Loved it. That was a detour of my favorite work of the Osmonds. But keep going. You went on tour with your aunt.
No, yeah, sorry. We'll have an ADD podcast this whole time. Sorry about that. No, I was on tour with my Aunt Marie. We were doing a Christmas symphonic show. So we actually toured coast to coast. Many, many, many shows, many dates and cities where we would have a 4-piece band, like a drums, bass, keys, guitar, a #1 band out of Las Vegas that were voted. And we bring them, but we're also going, every city we sat down with, we used the local symphony that was there, or orchestra. And so it was a big symphonic show at some of these PACs, or performing arts centers. And it was a really fantastic show to perform with my aunt. It was her show and I was her guest. So I go and I do duets with her and sing songs, and then she'll turn the stage over to me and I'll take the stage for a while she gets a break and a costume change and go put some new shoes on.
Love it.
But we have such a fun time together, and we're on a bus and we're traveling around and just having the time of our lives. The hard part is that because it's so crazy in the schedule, it's rigorous, that my family, my wife, my kids don't go with me on those types of trips because it's just impossible. They're in school and so many other things. Plus, it's a hard schedule. And you travel everywhere, you see the world, but you don't see the world. You go everywhere, but you kind of see nothing.
Oh, I think that's key. You go everywhere, but you don't see
I was just this last weekend, I was in Buffalo, Niagara Falls, and I'm literally less than 2 minutes from the falls, but I'm not seeing anything. I basically went from the bus to the hotel, to the stage, sound check, do a show, get right back on, go to the airport. And that's what I saw of New York, and then I race over to Orlando. Yeah. And it's fast and it's furious. It is fun because you're doing what you love.
Right.
But it's not quite what it may seem to other people.
And I think people see performers like you, David, and they automatically think, oh my gosh, they're seeing the world, but they don't understand what you just said, how rigorous it actually is.
Yeah.
But you were with your aunt. Talk to me a little bit about what it's like performing with your family.
Growing up Osmond, this podcast is going to go long.
Growing up Osmond.
No.
Tell me about your feelings,
It's been such
David.
a fun time. I'm grateful to be associated with legends. My dad, that's the question I get asked most in my life is when I'm going to like TSA and my license says Utah and then Osmond. It's the funniest thing, Alora, because I can see it happening before. They look down and they look up at me, look down again. And then the inevitable question is always, so are you like one of the Osmonds?
Are you like an Osmond?
And it's fun because I love to have fun with it and just be like, kind of play stupid. Like, what do you mean?
What's an Osmond?
You know, like Donnie and Marie, like they get excited, like, and I play dumb. Well, who's that? You don't know, whatever you're playing. You don't know him? And I swear, more than often, I've had a TSA agent singing "Puppy Love" or "Paper Roses" to me in front of her. It is so awesome.
Nothing
and
like
I probably
breaking
shouldn't
out
mess
in
with
song.
TSA, in that, especially nowadays. But honestly, they're so gracious, and it's fun. And there's this legacy, of history of my family performing for over 60 years.
And I honestly think you use the word legend, and you guys your family are singing
I
legends.
stand on the shoulders of giants. I grew up in this family that I thought every kid's dad sang and toured and performed, and I didn't know any different. The follow-up question is, of course, so who's your daddy? And my dad is Alan, and he is the oldest of the singing and the performing Osmonds, the leader of the group, the producer of the Donna Marie shows, and he was the creative kind of guy behind so many of the great songs and productions. So I grew up in an environment for television and music and understood the power of that and the appreciation of it. And once I got old enough to know the appreciation of my family, I'm grateful for who they are, but also who they are off stage. And they've held it together as a family, and they could be totally messed up. And I'll be honest, no family's perfect, and ours certainly isn't. And show business can mess you up. And so we're odd ducks, but the fact that they've had a foundation and stayed together and have had such incredible success, the success off the stage has been greater than the 100 million records that they sold.
The success off the stage. I think that's beautiful, David, because we talked in our podcast a little bit with Carrie and I how sometimes you meet celebrities and they're not quite who you think they are, but you guys off stage, you're still really close-knit. Yeah,
we try to be. And we're a normal family. We'll have our disagreements or arguments, and every family does.
Well, what is normal anyway?
That's a good point. And especially in show business, a showbiz family can be really, you can lose yourself in the industry and also with your relationships. So I credit the success of who they were and who they are to my grandparents. Truthfully, my grandpa George, my grandma Olive, they were a dynamic duo. My grandpa was a drill sergeant in the Army during World War II. He was a tough guy.
Oh, he sounds amazing.
Hard guy, but loving, just great. And my grandma was the heart. Just this great combination where my grandpa really, he demanded certain things. And they worked hard as kids. And my dad kind of had that same mentality. And I have 7 brothers, right?
Right.
My dad was one of 9 kids. Marie was the only girl.
Lots of Osmonds.
8 boys and 1 girl.
Lots of Osmonds.
And I'm one of 8 kids, all boys, no girls. So my dad kind of raised us the same way, of kind of a militant style, but I'm grateful for it, especially as a dad now. There was structure. And as we started performing as kids, my 3 older brothers and I was number 4 of 8 boys, and the 4 of us started out as a barbershop quartet. Just as little kids. We learned the same routines, the same songs my dad did, and we got opportunities because of my dad to perform. Ultimately, Bob Hope discovered us, put us on his national television show. Good Morning America wanted us to come over, People Magazine, and it started this snowball of performing when I was really little. We signed with Epic Sony in Europe and Curb Records in the States and Canada. Had a record deal, started doing albums and touring all over. We evolved from barbershop into more of the pop boy band. we used to tour with the New Kids on the Block.
I mean, I got to tell you, David, sometimes you'll throw down these boy band moves, and I'm like, there
really?
he is.
When do I, in Fresh Living, am I dancing in the?
Yes, when we're dancing
really?
in the song at the beginning, I'm like, there's
funny.
our boy band member. There he is. We know him, we love him.
I credit everything to the New Kids. Oh. No, it was fun growing up and performing in many different ways. I'll try and hide those boy band moves because I can't do them like I used to. That's for sure.
I think it's amazing.
And my kids would just rolling their eyes, going, "Oh, Dad, please don't dance."
And honestly, David, you keep, and this isn't a testament to you. You keep talking about how proud you are of your family, your grandparents, your parents, and I think it's safe to say that they are just as proud of you as you are of them.
You're so kind. Thank you. I hope so. Where much is given, much is required. And I recognize how blessed I am to have had the opportunities at a young age to be able to travel the world and experience certain things like having mentors, having my Uncle Donnie as my buddy, having my Aunt Marie as we tour around, having my dad, who's still with us and is still so creative. And he's still writing. I mean, every day he's texting me like these poems and songs, and it's such a great example as well, just a champion of life. And I'm grateful to be surrounded by good people.
I love that. Well, I am not an Osmond, and I can't sing, but would you guys like to give me singing lessons sometime?
We'll do it right now. No. Singing,
oh, no.
I'll tell you this much. I'll preface it with this. Singing is just controlled yelling.
Controlled yelling.
Yeah.
Well,
singing is breathing.
Okay. You're like my fiance. He tells me that singing is like talking, and if I sing, we would lose
he
viewers.
does what's called probably speech level singing.
I don't even know what that is.
So singing is talking. Well, your husband is he's an artist, he's a performer. So yeah, you've already got, and you perform, you're a dancer, like you're on the arts.
Yes, but David, I really think one day you can give me a singing lesson. I don't know if people would cut off the podcast or stay on for the entertainment. I'm really unsure, but to have an Osmond teach me how to sing, maybe your good genes would just kind of fill the room, and I would, get out a note.
It's the Malcolm Gladwell. It's the 10,000 hours. It's just put your time in, put the dues in, and if you love it, do what you love what you do. But it is work. Yeah. That's what my dad instilled in us. He saw this group. He's like, if you're going to do this, kids, you're going to do it right, and it's not a walk in the park. And you're not just going to get, you're not just going to get the stage door handed to you. Like you're gonna put your dues in. I appreciate the hard work I learned as a kid. It paid off when I had to go do different styles of music, not just the pop and the boy band, all the moves, and the just countless days and hours of just rehearsals and practice. But when I got opportunities to, like, for example, take over for my Uncle Donnie as Joseph in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat and play that role for 5 years with all these different companies.
Oh, that's amazing,
that's a whole
David.
different style of voice and performance. And you've got this fourth wall, and now you're doing a totally different kind of show. To have the foundation I had was such a blessing to go move into those roles. And then to start being a solo artist and writing my own music and pop music and as an early 20s, like kind of doing that thing. I love music. Music is what feelings sound like.
Oh, I think that's beautiful. Everyone write that down.
It was written down and I stole it. So
music is, I thought you said it.
No, well, don't accredit me or I'll get sued. No, I don't think it's trademarked. But in any event, we learn from each other. And I learned from some great people, and still I'm learning. And I love the medium of music and how it can influence lives and change hearts. It can really touch people and speak a language that words alone just cannot. And I saw that just this last weekend, especially right now. I mean, this last 2 years, we've been through as a worldwide community crazy things. And we were going into some of these performing arts centers as the first show back in 2 years or a year and a half.
How did that feel?
You could feel the energy of it was palpable. The excitement to see a show, to experience a live performance, and to connect with someone through music is more important than ever. I think we've been deemed in some ways as an industry, the entertainment industry, the least essential. And I think we're learning that it might be the most essential, or one of them. We need connection. We need to feel something. And music can do that. I
think that's beautiful. I think connecting to people right now is more important than ever, like you said. And with that, music can do that. And David, you have worked so hard. It's one of the reasons we love you. You work so hard. And things haven't always been easy for you. You are a huge advocate for MS. Talk to us a little bit about that and when you were diagnosed, because I don't know if a lot of people know that.
Yeah, it's something that I live with every single day, and it's crazy. My dad, back to my dad, Alan Osmond, when I was a little boy, he was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, MS. And when he first had the diagnosis, he'd never heard of it. And I'm a little boy. I'd never heard of it.
Right.
In fact, he went to his doctor and said, MS, what is that? Many sons? He's like, yeah, I got that.
You're like, yes, in fact, I do.
Multiple sclerosis, if you think of it this way, means many scars. So it's an autoimmune disease of the central nervous system. So your brain and your spine and the wiring in your head, everything that makes you function and move and think and feel and see and everything. The immune system attacks that, causes scarring and lesions, sclerosis, on the nerves and those connections. So all of a sudden, it short circuits your ability, your electrical system, to connect your brain to the rest of your body. So most people deal with lots of different kinds of symptoms. The typical ones are it stops you from moving. So when your brain says, move your finger, well, there's been a scarring, a damage. It's like the wiring in this cable to my headphones or your phone charger. If this got damaged and short-circuited, the signals can't get through very well and maybe even die. So all of a sudden, the signal from your brain to your finger to move doesn't get through, and it stops you from moving, or it stops you from seeing, or stops you from feeling or tasting, or some internal organs, or your cognitive ability to think clearly.
That's so scary.
It is scary. It's wild. And I saw my dad decline slowly over time, where he had to ultimately leave the stage. So he doesn't perform much anymore at all, because he can't physically get on stage and do that. And I do remember as a little kid when he had that first diagnosis, he came home and he told me, he said, David, I may have MS, but MS does not have me. And he said it with such conviction, and he still says it today. And I get emotional because he means it and he lives it. And that may be his bumper sticker, but having a dad with that kind of example and conviction was such a gift that I didn't realize at the time, because years later now, here I am in LA, I'm working with Brian McKnight, I'm working with people that heroes of mine, and I'm doing my own music, and I meet my wife, like we're dating. I met her, the last place I ever thought I'd meet my soulmate was in Vegas, and I'm in LA, and so we did this long distance thing.
I love it.
And I'm trying to figure out life and career and everything else. And then, long story short, I start having these symptoms that started quickly with pain, crushing, burning pain, and it started in my toes. And I was dating Valerie, and I told her, I said, my feet feel like they're being run over by a steamroller. Like I feel like I'm being crushed, David. And it progressed very quickly. It moved all the way up the pain, all the way to my knees, my waist, my chest. It hit my hands. My eyesight started to diminish. I start tripping and falling. And in a matter of just a couple of months, I'm in a wheelchair. And I don't know what's happening. Life is turned upside down. And the last thing I thought was MS, because this wasn't like my dad. Yeah. It took him years to get to where he was.
And yours just happened
And I was worse off than he was in a matter of months. So I didn't even think MS. It took quite a while to get an official diagnosis, but when they said you have MS, I've been living with it for many years. We don't have enough time even in this podcast for this today to really give you the full detail on my story, but I will down the road. But the long story and short of it is, after even a year being in a wheelchair, if you don't believe in miracles, I pray you believe one. I know you do, because I'm living one. And today's a good day, because I've been walking out of my wheelchair without assistance since our wedding day.
How many years has that been?
It's been coming up on 15 years in April.
15 years without a wheelchair.
Yet, I still have MS, but it doesn't have me. And like trust me, I feel it every second of the day. Right now, sitting here, my feet are on fire. My legs are burning like crazy. I feel the pain crushing me still. They're moving. My legs are moving pretty good. I don't do those boy band moves as good as I used to.
Well, I enjoy them. We all enjoy them.
My eyesight's back pretty good. My hands are moving pretty good. My cognitive abilities. I've had my relapses and remissions. And I have a different form of MS than my dad does. He has one called primary progressive, and I have relapsing remitting. So mine truly is like a roller coaster. But that scarring on the brain, the lesions, I have lesions everywhere, all over the brain and through the spine. And my neurologist, even my last appointment, he looks at me and says, David, I got to be honest. If I didn't know you and I didn't see you walk into my office right now, and I just looked at your scans, I would say that's the picture of a guy who could be totally paralyzed. So the fact that you're walking in here is unbelievable. So I recognize the blessing in that and the miracle of what I'm experiencing today. And today is a good day. Tomorrow, I don't know, but having MS might be one of the best things that's ever happened to me, because it's given me such a fresh perspective of appreciation and not what I don't have anymore, not my disabilities, but what I still have, what my abilities are. And that means more to me than anything. I drove a car up here today to do the show. I remember not being able to get from one room to the next by myself, to be able to walk up the stairs, to be able to get on stage now, to still perform, to still do music, to come be with you guys, to do anything, to be a dad. I recognize my blessings, and I appreciate them that much more for what I still have versus what I don't. And that's the miracle of the MS that I'm living with still today. And I recognize how good I have it versus other people. So I try to give back through the MS community as much as I can.
And how do you do that? Why is it, you mentioned it a little bit, why is it so important to you to give back? Because you recognize the blessings you have. Why is it so important?
Because people are hurting. People need hope. Annette Funicello, I don't know if you know who she used to be on the Mickey Mouse Club back in the day, and she was one of those sweethearts.
Oh, you know I know the Mickey Mouse Club,
Oh, you know,
David.
Annette Funicello, no. She was a friend of my dad's.
I know.
And she had MS before she passed and had an aggressive form. And my dad contacted her as one of the first people he trusted to say, hey, I have this thing, like, what do I do? And she gave him lots of good advice as a friend. One of them was, Alan, it's not the disease that gets you down, but it's the lack of hope. And people need hope. We all need hope. We all have struggles, whether it's MS or it's cancer or it's diabetes or it's financial issues or it's depression or it's anxiety. We talked about suicide on the show today. Whether it's darkness, there's hardships of life, there's pain for everybody. But I've learned that despite the fact that pain is inevitable in life for people, suffering is truly optional. I've seen that because I knew Annette Funicello. I saw how she dealt with it, how my dad deals with this MS, how cancer patients that I know, my mother-in-law who passed from breast cancer at 55. What a joy, what is a life. But there was pain there. There was hardship. So I feel compelled through my challenges to give back to others, because we're all struggling. We're all fighting. We all have something, some stuff. And we need each other more than ever.
I think I'm getting emotional. You can see me. I think, David, you truly are a beacon of hope for a lot of people, not just because you're out there helping people, but the way you live your life and the way I see it when you interact with our guests. I see it when you interact with us. You bring with you such a ray of light and that hope. And I think that's such a beautiful thing, going through everything you're going through every day, but focusing so much on others and focusing on the good that you have. I think that is a lesson that can be taught to a lot of people, and you live it beautifully.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm not perfect. I got a lot.
Who is?
Yeah, I got a lot to turn on my mind, but I appreciate the compliment. I do love people, and I appreciate where they're at. And as I'm doing projects now, I try and put my heart into it in a different perspective than I ever did before. To be here on this show with you guys for Fresh Living. I also host a kids TV show that's on every single weekend. It's called Wonderama. And I'm able to do that for the last 6.5 years. It's phenomenal to see these kids shine and give them a platform. I have a big band, literal, true big band like a Frank Sinatra, with my buddy Caleb Chapman, who's here in Utah. We have the Osmond Chapman Orchestra.
Oh, tell us more about that.
It's a 16-piece big band, and it is awesome. My first cassette tape I ever had when I was a kid was Frank Sinatra, and I was hooked. Oh. So to have my own big band now with Caleb is so awesome. So check it out if you can, if you're going to go stream something. Osmond Chapman Orchestra. Let me know what you think. To perform with my Aunt Marie, to do music, even on other career things. When I'm off the stage, you mentioned people, just connecting with them. Locally, I'm the Utah market president for a company called Tribe House. And so when I leave here, I'm going to an event down at one of our corporate offices in Pleasant Grove, where we connect and build relationships. Because in business, actually, most opportunities, all opportunities in life, happen because of a relationship. Mm-hmm. And so you don't look at people as an ROI, a return on your investment, like, what can I get from you? What's in it for me? Everyone's kind of dialed in, usually in business, into the same radio station, WIFM. What's in it for me?
Oh, I was like, I've never heard of that.
And the culture, the reason I got involved with even this company is because of what you talked about, connecting with people. And business will happen. Relationships are what matters. It's not the Rolodex, not the business card, how many people do I know? But how much do you really know them? And as we build true connections, true relationships, all the other stuff will happen. Business will flow freely and productively and honestly and genuinely. And that's what I've learned through music, through my career, is every opportunity is rooted in a relationship where I've performed. How as kids, how did we get recognized by Bob Hope? How did my dad get recognized as a kid by Walt Disney? Like, how did they get launched? Like, all these stories of our lives, how did we end up here at KUTV, CBS? From a relationship, things that happen, and there's power there. So focus on the people, your tribe, your family, your people you trust that are home, and appreciate them, and give them your genuine self, and your life will be blessed.
I think that's beautiful. Appreciating the people in your life. I think relationships with people, like you said, are truly the most powerful thing that we have. And being kind to them and looking out for them and making those true, genuine connections really are the things that change the world.
Yeah. And one of the things I believe in is something called learn, serve, and grow. Mm-hmm. When you learn about someone, you should find a way to serve that person. Find out what their needs are, maybe even without them asking. Maybe they're not comfortable. Or maybe ask them, what do you need and how can I help serve that? When you have that mentality, not what they can give you, the relationship will grow and you will have a true friendship and your life will be blessed. And that comes in so many forms. Yeah, if you're thinking financially, if you're out there hustling, there's so many people out there just struggling in their jobs. Like we're all trying to make it. We have so many responsibilities, family, career, faith, everything around us. We're so busy, but find ways to step outside that fast stream and be able to connect in something a little more slow, low key, and focus on the genuine relationship. Your life is that much more richer and more fuller.
I couldn't agree more, David. And I know big things are going to happen for you in the future besides being with us on Fresh Living, which we love having you. Knowing you is such a joy. And then I get to work with you, and you and I get to sit, our desks are by each other over here in the corner. So David gets to hear me laugh obnoxiously and talk at him many days.
No, I love it. I seriously do. And it's funny, as a team, just so you guys know, we have such a great time. In fact, such a good time. I think we make too much noise. They've put us in behind all these glass walls into our own little fishbowl. So we have all our cubicles and desks and everything. We're in our own little space, our own little corner, and our own little chairs. That gets awesome. And I get to be in the little corner in the back with being able to hang out with you ladies. Like I have 7 brothers and no sisters, so being able to hang out with you guys, I mean, you're like my sisters. It's pretty cool.
You're our cool older brother. Yeah. What does the future hold for our David Osmond?
Oh man, let's see what's coming up. I got a ton of performances with the big band, Osmond Chapman Orchestra. I've got a lot of shows with Marie coming up. We've got a lot of tour dates coming up even this next month and March and in the future. The kids' TV show, tons of stuff going on back there for the weekend. Fresh Living, Mondays and Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. Hey, check it out. I got that every day. And then with Tribe House, a ton of really fun events connecting Utah's top executives with each other. I live a blessed life. And then most importantly, beyond all the career stuff, I'm a husband and I'm a father. I have the most amazing wife. She is the most patient woman. And with my schedule and the support she gives me, she's incredible. And I don't think you've had a chance to meet her just yet.
I was just going to say, I haven't met her, and I'm so sad that I haven't met her yet.
She's awesome. Her name's Valerie, and we have 3 beautiful kids because of her. I'm glad I didn't mess up the mix there. We have 2 girls and a boy. Saffron is our oldest. She's 12. Azalea is 10, and Everest is 6. So 2 girls and a boy, and I'm loving this phase of life, watching them excel in school and club soccer. It's like consuming us with the soccer stuff right now, but it's so fun to see them do well and have a passion for something. And I recognize how blessed I am. So today is a good day, appreciating the little things, and I'm grateful to be here with you guys. I learned so much from you as well, and I appreciate your positivity, Laura. If I haven't said it enough, I garner so much from you as well. You're the genuine article. You come in every day with that laugh and that smile.
That laugh.
And it's real, so I appreciate it.
That can sometimes pop the mic. Well, I am so excited to meet your wife. Maybe one day I'll just show up at your house with food and be like, I'm here for dinner. David, it has been so amazing talking to you today on our podcast. You truly are, like I said, a ray of light, a beacon of hope for so many people. What do you say we wrap this podcast
Yeah, you bet.
up?
And thank you all for listening. Thank you for supporting the show. We couldn't do this without you, so thank you guys so much.
All right, we'll catch you guys next time.
Congrats, you made it to the end. If you want to continue to freshen up your day, you can watch us on Fresh Living every weekday on CBS Channel 2 in Utah at 1 o'clock. You can also watch us on our YouTube channel, KUTV Fresh Living, and follow us on social media. We will see you next week.